Hello, this is video number 6 and it's still dealing with saturated and unsaturated compounds using past paper tables for sequential learning style. So we already agreed that if we consider something or a compound saturated, we are saying that it has single bonds. Therefore, it must belong to haloalkane, alkane, or alcohol. Unsaturated, on the other hand, comprises of double or triple bonds, right? So that means that it has to belong to all the other homologous series that's not mentioned here. So let's start by identifying from this diagram. This is a structural formula A, structural formula C, structural formula E. This is the IUPAC of B, the IUPAC of D, and the IUPAC of F. Now, this one ends with "ine", so it belongs to alkyne. This one has butane. The substituent group is a methyl, so it is alkane. This one ends with "ol", which is hydroxyl, so that is alcohol. Structural formula, we have to look at it. What can we see? We can see the presence of OH, so that means this is also an alcohol. This compound only has single bonds and carbons. It's a hydrocarbon, so it belongs to alkane. Then here we have this functional group here, which is your carboxyl group. So this is a carboxylic acid. Now, which ones are saturated and unsaturated? We already know that if it belongs to these three homologous series, they are saturated. That would mean that A is saturated, only comprises of single bonds between all the carbons in the hydrocarbon chain. And alkane is also saturated, only single bonds are present here. And alkyne has a triple bond, therefore it has to be unsaturated. Alkane, only single bonds, so it is saturated. Alcohol, only single bonds between the carbons in the hydrocarbon chain, so that is also saturated. Carboxylic acid has a double bond here on this carbon in the chain, therefore it is unsaturated. Let's look at another graph or table. Here we have two condensed structural formula, IUPAC, IUPAC, structural formula, structural formula. So this one here is an ester-ester linkage, so this is an ester. This D has a carboxyl group, so it is a carboxylic acid. This has chloro, that's a halogen, so this is a haloalkane. This has ol, which is hydroxyl, making E an alcohol. This has a presence of chlorine, so it's also a haloalkane. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 5, 7, 10. That is CnH2n plus 2. That is an alkane. So those are all the homologous series. Now, which ones are saturated and unsaturated? We said alkane, haloalkane, and alcohol are saturated. So these three over here are all saturated. Ester has a double bond with the carbon and the oxygen, unsaturated. Unsaturated. Haloalkane, we said they are saturated, only single bonds. And there we go, you can identify saturated and unsaturated.